If there's one kind of application we all hate writing tests for, it's a web app. Testing an app through a browser, even with automation tools like Selenium, isn't much fun. But there are alternatives, and one of them is Playwright. Playwright was originally created by folks at Microsoft, and it's now an independently supported open source project. It could work in both headless and headful modes, meaning you can use your own browser engines or engines bundled with Playwright to do your testing. And it has a highly intuitive syntax that makes writing your test suite a good deal less complex than it has to be. Let's see some examples in action using Python as our language of choice. By the way, Playwright supports many other languages, including C# and Java, but we'll use Python for this demo. I have here a very simple web application also written in Python with a few behaviors I want to test. When I open the browser to a home page, I get a generic greeting. If I navigate to a URL provided by a link on the home page, I get a customized greeting based on the URL. And if I submit something via a form action, I get a message back. Now to test all of these behaviors, I have a Playwright test suite, which on Python works with the PyTest testing framework. Each of these functions that I have here tests the different capabilities that I've just mentioned, plus a couple of other things I'll go into. In the first test, we want to open the home page and make sure the page's title element says Web Demo. The page object provided by Playwright to our tests gives us methods for working with a page's elements and behaviors. So the goTo method navigates to a given URL. This next construction, expect, is a little bit like an assert as used in other test suites. We expect the page to have the title Web Demo, or rather, we expect it to match a regular expression that we constructed using that text. Throughout Playwright, we can use strings for exact matches for things that are text, or we can use regular expressions for looser matches. The next test clicks on the link and assures a certain text is on the subsequent page. The first step should be familiar. We go to the home page, and then we look for an element on the page based on its role. And that role could be a button, a header, or in this case, a link with a certain text that we've identified by name. We then click that link. And then on the next page, we expect to find the text Hello Serdar and have it be visible. By now, you should have some sense of how Playwright scripts work, so let's try something a little more advanced. One of the things that happens with this web application is if I submit a blank form, it will tell me you've inputted nothing. But if I type something, it will tell me exactly what I typed. So here's one possible way I could test this behavior. First, we go to the page, and then we loop over possible elements and responses. So for each input, we locate the form element on the page. It's got the ID I1, and then we use the foundElements fill method to fill it with some text, and then simulate an enter key press to submit the form. And then we use expect to check if the results of the element with the ID output has the correct text. It should be nothing for a blank input, and what it is for what it is. So when I run these tests, as you can see, all three of them will pass. Something else should be clear by now. Playwright gives you many different ways to look for elements on a page, by its name, or its role, or its textual content, or its attributes, and so on and so forth. So that's one way that it lets you write tests that are either as focused as they need to be, or as forgiving as they need to be. Now there's a lot more to Playwright than I could fit into this simple demo, like the way that you can interact with the behavior of JavaScript elements in pages, or test things as if they were rendered on touchscreen devices. But this should give you some sense of the flavor of working with Playwright and why it might be a good fit for your web application testing suite. That's it for this episode. If you liked it, leave a comment below, and don't forget to follow Dev with Serdar and InfoWorld on Facebook, YouTube, and Infoworld.com.